Hi, welcome back to Sweets and Beyond. Today we're going to be making a fall treat, which is Flan de Calabaza, pumpkin flan or pumpkin custard. It'll be excellent for your Thanksgiving dinner. Let me show you the ingredients. Here we have 1 teaspoon of pumpkin pie spice, 1 can of sweetened condensed milk, 1 can of evaporated milk, 5 large eggs, 1 teaspoon of vanilla, 1 15-ounce can of pumpkin. It just is not the pumpkin pie. It comes in, it just says pumpkin in it, and 3/4 of a cup of sugar. Okay, so let's get started. Okay, so I placed the sugar in a small saucepan and I have the stove at a 7. My stove goes from 0 to 10 and I have it at a 7. You just pour the sugar in it and you wait until it starts browning, and then you start moving it. It goes pretty quickly, so you're just going to move it around until all the sugar dissolves. And you don't want it too dark because then it'll keep on cooking in the oven, the sugar, and it'll taste bitter. Okay, so you just want a nice amber color. So you're just going to keep on moving it. Don't worry about these clumps. As you're moving it, it'll dissolve. I don't know if you can see it well. But then you'll leave it and it'll slowly dissolve. But you have to keep on stirring it to get rid of all the lumps until it becomes nice and clear. And it'll do that quickly. So now you see. So you keep on moving it, and you don't want it too dark because it'll, like I said, it'll keep on darkening in the oven when you cook it. Okay, it's almost there. Trick is you have to keep on moving it. Okay, there you have it. You shut off the stove, and off the stove you will keep on moving it, okay? To make sure that everything else is dissolved. Now you're going to pour it into your mold. Okay, you pour it into your mold, and then you will swirl it around, making sure it coats everything. Making sure it goes a little bit up the sides, and we will leave it cool and on to the next step. Okay, so here is the finished caramel. It has been about 5-10 minutes and it is still warm to the touch, so you have to be very careful because burning yourself with hot sugar, it is really bad. So what I did was, remember I swirled it around. It just has to reach maybe half up from the bottom to the top, maybe half. See, look how beautiful it looks. So now this has to go, the flan has to go in baño de Maria, which is like a water bath. So the water should be hot, but I really don't want to get burnt by transporting this container plus the flan inside with the hot water. So what I do is I put my casserole inside the dish where I'm going to bake it at, and I'm going to just pour enough water, making sure that it doesn't fall into the caramel mixture. And I'm just going to pour enough water for it to cover half, up to half, up from the flan. So it'll vary depending on the dish that you have, how much water. I can't tell you exactly how much, but let me see. It is Yeah, it is like a couple of inches, which is half up. So now, remember your oven has been preheating at 350 degrees. So now you're going to place this hot water, you're going to place it in the oven. Okay, so now we're going to start making the flan. The first thing we're going to do is we're going to pour the whole can of the sweetened condensed milk. We are going to put it in the bowl. Okay. If you notice, it doesn't have any sugar, any extra sugar, because hence the sweetened condensed milk. It has all the sugar that this flan needs. So then the next thing we're going to pour is the whole can of the evaporated milk. So now, let me put this here. So now you take your little blender, your hand mixer. I'm sorry, I don't know if it's going to be loud or not, but then you start slowly because it will splatter, okay? And you slowly mix it. So hopefully you can hear me. So now you're going to start adding the eggs one by one. And you're going to slowly mix them. I do have a stand-in mixer, but I don't use it because I don't want it to get too much volume. So one by one you go adding the eggs. Okay? Oh, sorry, two went in. But you get it, one by one. Okay, so you make sure all this is really well mixed in. Let me stop it for a second. Hopefully you can hear me. So we're going to mix this in well. We're going to put in the 1 teaspoon of pumpkin pie spice. We're going to put it in. And we're also going to use the 1 teaspoon of vanilla. So if you notice, I have a different vanilla bottle. Check out my other video on how to make your own vanilla. Cheap plug. So now we're going to start mixing it again. Oh, I forgot. A pinch of salt. Whenever you're cooking like this with raw eggs, even though it's a sweet dessert, it's nice to put a little bit of salt to it. So now we're going to mix it, and be careful that it will splatter. So you mix it well. Okay, so as you've noticed, I haven't added the pumpkin yet because I like to strain the flan before I put it, because of the raw egg. Sometimes it can have little, I don't know what they call them, but I just like to strain it to make sure it'll be nice and smooth. And now I'm going to add the 15-ounce can of pumpkin. And then we're going to blend it again. Look how beautiful it looks. It turned. So now we're going to mix it well, making sure to incorporate all the pumpkin. Okay, so I finished mixing it together. So now we're going to pour it in our mold. And don't worry, if you pour this, all the ingredients were at room temperature, but you will hear when you pour it in here in the mold, you will hear it like crack. That's just the caramel cracking. Okay? So here you go. Let's scrape all the spices. So you're going to place it in the pan you already have preheated with water in the oven, and you will leave it in the oven for at least 1 hour. So in an hour, check and insert a toothpick in the middle, and if it comes out clean, it's done. So we'll see you back. Okay, so here you have it, flan de calabaza. It took approximately an hour and 20 minutes in the oven. So as soon as you take it out of the oven, you're gonna run a knife around the edge of the flan, and then with oven gloves or oven mitts on, you're going to shake it so you can bring the hot caramel up to the top, and this way it will not it'll release the flan from the edges. Okay, so let us unmold it now. So what you do is make sure you have this is a pie plate, but it has a ridge. It has to have a ridge, if not all the caramel will go out. So okay, wish me luck. Oh my goodness. Excuse the mess, but it came out. Oh, look how pretty it looks. So here you have it. It's a little bit too warm right now to cut into it, but I would suggest the best thing you do is just leave it in the, after you shake it and you loosen it, cover it and put it in the fridge overnight. This is a great dessert, so you can do at least a couple of days ahead, the night before, so you can have it all nice and chilled, ready for your dinner. Okay, so please remember to like this video and subscribe to my channel. Buen provecho.